welcome back. Before we run out of time, we wanted to touch on an issue that has been, I guess, in the local, regional, and international media of late. That is the issue of sex videos. We've had a number of cases, one involving Hulk Hogan, which received a lot of coverage globally.
And he received a lot of money.
A lot of money.
15 million US.
Yeah. More recently, we've had the case involving a St. Lucian judge. Perhaps you can give us a little detail on
it happened in St. Kitts this week, where Justice Lorraine Williams, as the OECS High Court judge in St. Kitts and Nevis and Anguilla, she ruled in a case of one of those sex videos involving an incident in which a man had been arrested for robbery. And when the police officers searched him and found his phone, they went through the phone and discovered a video, a recording of him having sex with a woman. They downloaded it and uploaded it onto the internet. And sometime later, after the guy served his time, the lady filed a case against the 4 police officers, you know, with the usual thing, violating her integrity, stealing the guy's phone, etc. At the end of it all, Justice Lorraine Williams ruled in favor of the 2 complainants, the woman who was well known all over St. Kitts, and the man who was not named, maybe because he was, for whatever reasons, he was not named. But the interesting thing is that the lady received an award of $350,000 and the gentleman $150,000. So the total award was for $500,000 EC dollars, vis-a-vis the Hulk Hogan case, where he sued on his own behalf and received 15 million US dollars in similar circumstances. Sorry, the local and regional aspect to this, I think, is one in which that precedent set in St. Kitts and Nevis by the St. Lucian judge, Lorraine Williams, is one that could make many women happy, and men as well, from the standpoint that increasingly we have these instances of sex videos hitting the internet, going viral, and the women in particular who are pictured would react in different ways, from confessing to living a life of shame to even allegations and claims that they would consider or even commit suicide. In this particular case, with this precedent set, victims of those activities now have one additional consideration, that all is not lost. It's not just about being ashamed and being impossible to get justice for being unfairly exposed by, whether by a partner or a third person. That precedent in St. Kitts can give any woman or man who is a victim of the violation of the privacy by the public display of sex videos involving them, can resort to filing a case using the St. Kitts precedent.
Yeah, because I think there was a case before that of a cricketer, wasn't there, in Trinidad and Tobago, I believe, who...
I'm not sure.
Yeah, a case of revenge porn, where he put out a video of this young lady who turned around and sued and won. You know, so there have been other cases like that. But you're right, you know, it does now put the persons who are guilty of these revenge porn campaigns, you know, on notice that, you know, there are legal options open to the victims in this case. But it doesn't, the awards or the money does not, I don't think.
Well, the government is paid. The government's going to have to pay that for the police officers.
In terms of dealing with the shame, the embarrassment, you know,
it doesn't. It doesn't. But by Caribbean standards, it is, you know, even if it is a token award, because, like you said, it doesn't erase the shame, but it allows that victim to access some funds that she could put to good uses. She and he could put to good uses in terms of being compensated for infringement of their rights in a permanent way. You know, victims of this in St. Lucia who are known and who have moved on, those who have moved on and have demonstrated their ability to put the issue behind them, will tell you in moments of sobriety and trust. They would say to people that they trust that, listen, this thing never goes away. But you'd also have the other victims who have done nothing, don't think they can do anything, don't want to have to go to court, you know, to relive that drama, but would tell you, listen, I pass the person who did that every day. You know, I know who he or she is, and he or she is also doing it to other persons, or has done it to other persons, or is threatening me that if I do anything about it, he or she is going to do something to me. So it doesn't go away, and while the money doesn't erase, I mean, in the Hulk Hogan case, like I've said, here he was filmed having sex with his best friend's wife. As a result, he felt, as a result of his superstar status, that his privacy had been compromised. But his case was on his own behalf. It did not include the wife of his best friend, who was no longer the wife of his best friend, and who was also, you know, subject to the same hurt that he went through. So it also shows that in the Caribbean case, the woman considered, in filing the case, she considered the other partner who was going through equal horrors as a result of that exposure, which was not the case with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. But I think it also raises the issue of responsibility and responsible use of the media and the internet. In terms of what we post.
That's just a wish.
What we post.
That's a wish.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, in the same way, listen, the people,
look at the case of the
internet
guy.
people tell you, if you want to get away, those of us who still don't trust the net, like me, the guys like you would say, you either use it or you don't. You know, it's just a matter of you're going to try to keep your privacy. You want to be on Facebook, you can't keep your privacy.
Well, if you, was it the mantra, if you don't want it online, don't post it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, something to that effect. But in terms of accident videos, videos of deaths, you know, that sort of thing, responsible use of the internet. In the case of the Soufriere incident where the girls got beaten, we've seen how those things take on, you know, legal legs, legal implications for the persons involved. You know, so I'm hoping that this latest case is also a message, you know, to those people to be more responsible.
Oh yes,
you know,
it's meant to be a message, and you're hoping the message is taken, because, like we said, and like we've always repeated, the instrument is just an instrument. It's what the user does with it. It can be used for good, for bad, and for all sorts of purposes. But the fact that it can be used and is used for bad ought not to be a reason to limit its use. You're not to say to people, you can't do this, and because eventually, and that's where we have to draw the line, the extent to which the state can say and determine the extent to which you can use technology. You know, we just had, St. Lucia just hosted a meeting of cyber security, cyber crime, people from and agencies from around the Caribbean. At that meeting, it was pointed out that St. Lucia was one of the countries with the more advanced cybercrime legislation. But again, this particular issue that we were dealing with in terms of responsible use of the internet, even while that might have been considered in our legislation, the actual ability to do it, while it was once considered impossible, the agencies are coming up with ways and means, so that right now the United States has shown that it has introduced legislation to allow the state to demand information that it may deem or consider of interest to national security or for whatever use. Similarly, you also have, whereas all the other big internet agencies are subject to that, WhatsApp is saying we ain't passing it because it's in the cloud, you know, but eventually I think WhatsApp will be made to bend. But again, that is all part and parcel of showing that it can eventually be possible to trace, because like you said, if you don't want it post, what's it?
If you don't want it out there, just don't post it.
Yeah, just don't post
It's
it
as
so
simple as
that
that.
anybody, the fact that they're saying that guys or people feel safe because they can hide, you know, the fact that it came from their machine, that is not absolutely so. It can be
That's all.
traced.
Mr. Buske, we are out of time. Thank you very much for being
As
here.
usual.
Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another program and you can join us then. This has been the Press Club. Have yourselves a safe, enjoyable weekend.